news. We keep the city on their P's and Q's, cause they know we pull up with them cameras and shoot. We tell the truth so you don't get confused. Chill. Yeah. M16.
This is unbelievable.
Brr. Weazel. You don't really wanna miss Weazel news. We keep the city on their P's and their Q's, cause they know we pull up with them cameras and shoot. We tell the truth so you don't get confused. You don't really wanna miss Weazel news. We keep the city on their P's and Q's, cause they know we pull up with them cameras and shoot. We tell the truth so you don't get confused. Hey. Shout out to my boss, Baron. You know that man make it happen. He got our foot up in the damn door, and now the whole team taking action. We got pictures on whether you can chat with cheddar. Hit me for your music needs, who gon' do it better? And you can catch Travis on a rash report, or catch me going live with the facts from the source. Ari is a newswoman, plus you with the force. Man, the whole Weazel staff, we on top, check the score. Editors, producers, all going hard. Don't make us pull up with them cameras in your front yard. Weazel.
And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, live from Weazel News Studios 14. This is your live stream with your host, Sky Davis, Michael Lopez, and Dick Dashley. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good evening. How is everyone this week, gentlemen?
Awesome. It's been a busy week. It's been
real busy, yeah.
Good.
Absolutely. It's been quite a busy week on my end as well, but it's good to have everybody back here with us to hang out with us. Definitely been quite a busy week on the server this past Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Lots of different topics and things going on within the server and community in general. Would you like to start us off this week, Dick, with our opening weekly rundown?
Why, of course, I certainly will. So, we've been busy. We've got all kinds of new things going on the server. We've had some boxing matches going on around the city. We've had some camping trips. We've had a few inmates here and there acting up, acting out of the way. It's been, and as usual, we always having accidents on the server. I don't know why. We just seem like we're having motor vehicle accidents all the time, but we will run them down for everybody later on.
Yes, indeed. Lots of different accents and things happening. I mean, that's kind of, how it rolls, unfortunately, and, like, things can come out of nowhere. But we'll definitely get into that. How about you, Mr. Michael?
Yeah, I agree along with Dick. This has been an active week. A lot of trash talking went on Friday night. But that was a fun time. I heard, Sky kept crashing. So, I mean, she kept leaving the server, so we couldn't figure out where she was going.
Yeah, alien abduction twice. It happens.
Not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
It's aliens. It's the UFOs over there at Camp Rico, Not these.
Yeah.
But that happening, and then like Dick said, traffic accidents, and the prison, Bolingbrook acting out, and like a lot's been going on. So we'll start, we'll cover, each bit piece by piece and break it all down for y'all. But like said, it's been a busy week.
Absolutely. Yes, busy, and in general, I know we've had quite the weather this week. It's been a lot of rain, a lot of sun, a lot of heat, but a lot of rain as well. We had quite the rainstorm on Tuesday night, I believe, which lasted a little bit within the server, but it it calms down every after a while. So luckily, it got to calming down. And we were able to. I know the highway patrol was out on bikes recently, so it was good that they were able to be able to kind of patrol without anything happening out there rain wise. Absolutely,
If I'm not wrong, I
absolutely.
think the highway patrol was trying to blame you for miscuing the weather up, but they don't realize weather forecasting is a guessing game here in Los Santos. 50,
Absolutely.
it's 50-50. We might be right, we might be wrong, so you never can tell with us.
Yeah, we
Yeah, it was
definitely
supposed to
try
be.
to,
Yeah, exactly,
we definitely
exactly.
try to look at the predictions on the, radar and whatnot, but weather has a mind of its own oftentimes. For
Yes, it
sure, for
does.
sure. Yeah. Speaking of, well, not weather exactly, but did you guys hear about that fire last night out at the lumberyard?
I
I
heard,
did.
there was a fairly large fire, and there was some suspicious circumstances going along with it.
Yes, I did hear that as well. Over half about half the lumberyard itself, the building was on fire in flames. And of course, lumber is one of the worst things that could possibly go up, because of all the wood, and it's in a
Hmm.
barn, so it's just, it was, basically, fire fueler. So whoever, that person was who did, it was arson. They do have it confirmed that it was arson. So whoever did it intentionally. And I believe that there was a someone on scene who was a hostage. I believe they got one hostage. She was tied up in a separate barn that was not on fire. Lead
That's what I heard.
investigators Yes, lead investigators are trying to get more into it. I know Detective Mariko was going to be leading the case, I believe, because he does have some history with that certain suspect subject who was found in that barn. So, we hope, anything, something comes out up from that. Haven't heard any word on the male or woman who set the fires, but I did reach out to see if I could get more information on that, and we are waiting to hear about that. So, but that was quite the scene. I know Air One was up last night, and they had a quite a nice eye from the sky last night. So,
Most definitely. Speaking of Air One, I believe they was very instrumental in finding some missing hikers at one point in time last night. It was a long, involved search, but I think they finally found both missing hikers from the camping group.
that is awesome. Yes, I think I heard that there was a male and a female that went missing, and thankfully that they were both found okay and alive and well, I believe.
Yes,
I
I believe it
think
was.
one was transported by a medic for, I believe, a fall injury from hiking. Um, but other than that, they are doing well. So we're happy to hear about that.
And I think we had another emergency plane landing out on was it Great Ocean Highway, I believe, last night. That's
Yeah, it was out on Great Ocean Highway off down in the valley
okay.
kind of
That's our
thing.
second emergency landing in the city in about as many weeks, I believe.
Yeah, and then according to the commissioner, there was nothing involved in it. They couldn't find Air One couldn't find any heat signals from anybody. So the person that landed the plane just landed it and left it there,
Huh.
and didn't
Wow.
call in,
Well,
didn't call air traffic control, didn't call anything, say that he was landing. So there was no signal that they were going down. They just landed and left.
Ooh, that's sounds very suspicious. I wonder if some illicit items trying to be ran into the county.
potentially, I will have to, reach out to the our law enforcement to see if we can figure out more about that. But definitely, not something that you see every day. Of course, we're seeing, new things every week in Los Santos, especially on the Kuffs server. So,
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly, exactly.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's not too often that you come across a plane in a on a side road on a mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in this, what the sad thing funny thing about it was, you know the only tow driver that was on last night, and Mosey was on last
Mm,
night as tow, and the one driver was going had to go literally go around the plane
wow.
just to get to a call for a tow. So if you know if you know information about that, please let law enforcement know because we're trying to figure out why it was sitting there and all that too as
Absolutely,
well.
absolutely. Yes. And last night we also had I believe we had a murder kitty, attack out there, under one of the bridges. A, maintenance worker was working on, I'm not exactly sure what exactly they were working on, but they were working out there, and they were unfortunately attacked by a murder kitty, not a murder cookie. Dispatch accidentally said murder cookie, which was quite funny, but a murder kitty out there.
I
But
wonder
we
what her
are.
name was.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to I'll reach out and see if I can get from the state and see if we can get a comment from her on this murder cookie business and to see if we have to look out for any murder cookies coming into town. 'Cause that sounds quite interesting.
I mean, I didn't know Sesame Street was in the server. Come on now.
The Cookie Monster.
Right, exactly. That's what I was gonna think of. The Cookie Monster's in town. He's murdering cookies.
Murder cookies, yes. But yes, last night there was a mountain lion attack. And I do believe that they unfortunately did have to neutralize the Murder Kitty mountain lion for everyone's safety in that area. But everyone went home safely from that. The male who was attacked, the worker, he was transported to Sandy Medical. I believe from that scene by ambulance. And as well, they had to use a life flight last night. I heard down on the by the riverbanks. We had another missing person, and they were found, I believe, unconscious, right near the riverbank. So we're happy that they were able to get lifeline down there. It's definitely we had two helicopters up last night. Air One and the medical helicopter. So it's nice to see all of our law enforcement and first responders and different kind of apparatuses working together. Something that we don't see that often.
That's most
Exactly.
definitely. I like where they work together sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. For sure, for sure. Let's see if we can look back a little bit. I know we talked a lot about it last night. Tuesday, we had the SHP, as we said, they were out doing a motorcycle patrol. There was a fire out at the Sandy gas station. Behind it, not the actual gas station, but the workshop behind it. There was a fire out there. A pickup truck caught fire. And they're still looking into that. Fire investigators are still trying to see what the root of the cause might have been. Waiting to hear back from that. Additionally, I know that there were a lot of traffic stops that night. I believe it started out with a 1080, 1070 type.
Yeah, a 1080 into Polito.
Yes, yes, yes. Do you know a little bit more about that, Michael?
Yeah, 1080 happened approximately right there in front of Flywheels, and it went down the highway all the way up into Polito. The driver ended up losing control of the vehicle after being pitted multiple times. Finally lost control in Polito and crashed into the tanker up at the Polito. I think it's called Ron's gas station up
Yes.
there,
Yep.
right there in Polito, and end up dying, being diagnosed DOA on scene. Um,
That's unfortunate.
so the car blown up, tanker blown up. According
Wow.
to EMS and tow, according to the tow driver, the car was in really bad shape when he returned back to the impound for repairs or the shop for repairs. The car was just a total loss, and then the driver, of course, was DOA. I don't know if there's any other bystanders or any other passengers in the vehicle with him. I didn't get information from them about that, but I was able to be on scene of that call, um, and my brother was able to give him information on exactly all what happened. So it was, like I said, it was a tragic, you know,
Absolutely.
scene. I'm glad law enforcement was able to get involved and finally put him to a stop before he went clear across town in a pursuit.
Absolutely, and I mean, of course, cases like that and situations like that can be dangerous, especially with, like I said, we had some motorcycle units out there, and it can be, very dangerous even in a car, but especially a motorcycle. So it was definitely good to see that 1080 unfortunately ended, tragically for that person.
Yeah,
But all of our
and I know CHP, I know the San Andreas High Patrol did say that multiple vehicles were hit in the pursuit
wow,
by the runner. So hopefully
wow,
they were all okay. But
yes.
there wasn't information on how many vehicles were hit. But he was just, everything in his way was being hit.
It's like everything
And
was a fair game to me. What it sounds like.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. So I know, according to according to the sheriff department, he was pitted at least 4 times and
Wow.
never stopped until he got to Polito.
Mm.
Wow. That's crazy.
He was a man on a mission.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
So,
definitely
and then
crazy.
I know there was a traffic accident between tractor and semi truck, and then I think Dick has more information on that one.
Well, yeah, I was going to cover that, and I was going to cover it off Prison Break also. But since we touched on a tractor versus semi, we'll go ahead and cover that real quick. Apparently, out on Joshua, I think it's Joshua Road heading west, there was a semi versus tractor accident, and it involved three subjects where two of them were transported. They had a small fire started on the tractor itself.
Wow.
Luckily, the fire percent we don't see fairly quick and was able to put the fire out before it spread. And another lucky thing about it is there was a actual traffic stop maybe 500 feet up the road, so
Wow.
law enforcement was quick on scene for that accident. They didn't have to really have them paged out. So yeah, hopefully the farmer that was in the tractor is okay, and I'm hoping the truck driver and his trainee work out okay. I can't really speak of the legal ramifications, but I do know there was talks about getting lawyers and suing.
Wow.
You know how things go. Cindy,
Mhm.
everybody wants to make a quick buck for something.
Absolutely.
And
And
then we did have a prison break too from Bolingbrook Penitentiary. I talked to the public information officer at Bolingbrook. He did
mhm.
say one guard was injured, but not life threatening in the prison break,
And that's
where three subjects jumped the guard and took his keys to his car and was able to escape from the prison.
oh
And
jeez.
at some point in time, they made it up to Grapeseed, and then from Grapeseed, they managed to get down to Sandy Shores, and that's where law enforcement picked them up. It was Sandy Shores, just outside on Joshua Road. And from there, it kind of went south quickly because one of them was a lifer, and another one where he had just simple charges, and I believe he got tagged along just because he was near the two lifers in prison.
Yeah, right.
But
Kinda, place and time type of thing.
that's it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
unfortunately, the driver, which was also a prisoner of the car, and the passenger, the two lifers, they met a fateful end due to lead poisoning at the
Ah,
very end of a attempted stop. They believe they said the driver of the vehicle had a firearm and was returning fire on the deputies at the time.
ah,
And fortunately, the one prisoner who managed to get tagged along with them was only a minor offender, and I believe he may not get charges since he was essentially kidnapped, possibly
mhm.
by the other two. So
Wow.
hopefully, that gentleman right there has his life straight in order, and because he was lucky, he could have easily gotten shot and murdered or shot and killed during that prison escape. So
Absolutely. I mean, or he could have at least, gotten his sentence, revoked and
hmm
become a longer one instead of doing a minor stint.
most definitely,
So,
it could have been a lot worse. So
lots of different
hopefully,
outcomes could have happened there.
maybe they'll tighten up, it's a little bit security at the prison. Maybe they'll get like two guards at all times now together, roping
Hmm.
together instead of just one singular at a time, because it's so easy that prison is overran by some very violent offenders some days, and they need all the help they can get up there.
Absolutely. And I do believe that same night, speaking of violent offenders, we are still on the lookout for, any possible witnesses to come forward in a few different cases. We've had multiple AK-7s found in the area of Los Santos, and then recently there were a few that were found in Sandy Shores, so we're not really sure what's happening through the state, but if you do see anyone or know of anyone with stolen firearms, definitely let law enforcement know immediately, as they are trying to connect and track down a few cases. And unfortunately, with one case, we did get to hear that a I believe that she's still recovering in the hospital, so law enforcement have not been able to get a statement off of her because doctors for her burns had to put her in a medical induced coma for a few days while she heals, I guess, because she, can't really talk or breathe, because it, did affect her esophagus and whatnot. So we wish her the best, in trying to figure out the involvement in that. But there was a woman, like I said, who was found in the trunk of a burning car.
Mm.
Someone intentionally put that person in the trunk and set it ablaze. So we do hope that we can get to the bottom of that. And if you do know any information on that, that did happen in the Central Sandy Shores area, so definitely let law enforcement know of any information known about that.
Most
Uh,
Most
definitely.
definitely, as soon as possible.
Absolutely. On our sports, do you want to take us into that, Michael?
Yeah. So sports. Friday night. Like I said, a lot of trash talking went on. But we ended up hosting the Ultimate Knockout Challenge down at the beach. Uh, Local, different people showed up for that event, and a big, they're trying to, a big turnout. And we did declare the Ultimate Knockout Champion, and of course, it's yours truly, Ann, on this, as you guys know as ABM, got first place in that, and then second place went to Jamie, uh, and third place went to Cerno. So
Absolutely. Awesome.
it was a fun night, and a lot of trash talking by yours truly, and he lasted probably all the way up to the final round until he got knocked out by Jamie, and then after that, he just lost his groove. So, but like I said, we all had a blast, and it was a
and,
fun night. And then
and believe it or not, I believe Onyx and Rye Wilson got in on some of the boxing
yeah,
They
moves.
Onyx and
did,
Rai
they
got in.
did.
Onyx got in, and the first match against I don't remember who he faced out the first time.
It's
I think it
actually
was
It
against
was
Jamie.
Onyx
Jamie.
versus
Okay, Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah,
Yes, Onyx
Yeah.
and
versus Jamie.
Onyx actually, Jamie actually beat Onyx, which was really an admin went down. So to sorry Onyx, but we love you over there.
It was a
But
miraculous
Yes.
comeback, 'cause I believe Onyx was up on him like 2-0 at the end, and then Jamie made
Yeah,
a comeback at the
I
very end.
do have a few stats from that. In that first one, Jamie did win 3-2. In our second one, we had Junior and Big B. Big B won 3-0. And then we had Ann as a winner versus Ryan Wilson, and it was 3-0. So a lot of good competitors out there. To just
yeah,
highlight
it
a
was like
few
I
of
said,
them.
it was the most funnest night. I mean, I really want to do that again, do something like that again. Definitely with more people. You know, it's just we, and have it,
Hmm.
set up brackets and actually make a real bracket, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of wagers went out. I know. I think a couple people got paid an extra $20,000, $30,000 just for participating, and putting money at each other. So a lot of gambling went on
Awesome.
that night. But rather than that, it turned out really nice. And thank everybody for showing up and everybody that tuned in to the match live from the news station.
Absolutely.
I think we covered it. I'm sorry that we Sky had technical difficulty that night, but it was
Yes,
fun. It
many
was fun.
technical difficulties, but we have,
But
but we have reserve, we
yeah, you
have,
have proof. You have three different videos of proof of her trying to get the technical difficulties fixed.
yes,
But
but we
at
have that
least you
all
got to see
fixed
some of it.
now.
Yeah, at least you got to
Yes,
see some of it and enjoy it as much as we did. And
yes,
as far as that sports, I know there was a few races, dirt track races going on, being planned out behind the casino there.
absolutely.
And I know there's a few other events, sports events happening on being planned here in the near future as well.
Yes. Yeah, I know that in the last week of June we'll have the second annual triathlon out in San Andreas, which will be a lot of fun. A running, biking event, swimming event as well, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I,
just be careful of those dang on fish out there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We don't
Let's
need
see.
no shark lunch. A shark to have lunch for dinner.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't need any murder sharks. We leave it to the murder cookies. To you know. All right. We're gonna. Have you guys been listening to any music this week at all?
I have. I've been listening to a group called Roy Knox a lot lately. He's doing some good techno style music. I believe I talked about him a little bit last week, but I've been looking him up on that boob tube, and Roy Knox has some real good techno style music out there. So that's what I've been jamming out to in my car and at home lately. So you ought to give him a heads up and listen to sometime.
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure. What about you,
yeah,
Michael?
yeah. I've been listening to the same, doing like a lot of the doing what Kai said to go do, and listen to a lot of the music from the intro music and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
his music that he has out there that is able to use on streams. And I'm telling you, some of the music this guy put out is just ridiculously good. So
Yes,
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't seen it,
Was
go
it
check it
effects?
out.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I've been listening to a few different songs. One that came out a few weeks ago by a Jessie Murphy. She has a new song called "I Would've," and this is the first I'm hearing of her. But she does sound very, very good. So definitely go and check that out on BoobTube if you want to go and listen to some new music. And also by a Styles Harry. We have a new song off of his album that'll be coming out called Late Night Talking. It's been out for a few weeks now, but I'm just trying to get around some of the newer music from him, and it's been quite good. So definitely go check that out as well if you're into more pop kind of culture music. So definitely a lot of good stuff coming out. And then we got the Booty Rocks is coming out with her new song, Booty Shuffle. It was gonna be a lot of fun to listen to. I don't even want to know because we got the Cupid Shuffle. We got the I don't want to know what the Booty Shuffle
Yeah.
is,
I
but
mean, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And I know we're still waiting for the title of the song between Rocket City Midgets and
yes,
Booty Rock. So I mean, that song's still coming out. But
yes.
Booty Shuffle, huh? I wonder where Booty
Yeah, that
Rocks. You
sounds a
need
little
to stop.
questionable.
You need to stop Booty Rocks because
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but it's been yeah. And speaking of, we want to acknowledge a few people this week. I know we have a few members who were members and they're just coming back. So welcome back to Toru and Vlad. They were members about a year ago ish, and now they're back on the server with us again. So welcome back to them.
exactly.
Um,
Welcome back to them.
and businesses
Yes,
on the
Vlad.
week. Is there anyone that we want to highlight with, gentlemen?
That's a good question.
For me, I just want to highlight the law enforcement and
Hmm.
EMTs and the doctor, the coroners, and um, tow drivers, all Mercy personnel. I mean, the job that they do on the server is absolutely wonderful,
Absolutely.
and without them, we wouldn't have a server. So thank you guys, and we appreciate you. And you know,
Mhm.
the job you do, it makes Los Santos a much better place. So
Yes.
thank you for your service.
Absolutely, and shout out to the civilians as well. You know, these roles wouldn't have anything to do if it weren't for the Sims making really good calls out there. So pretty much everyone on the server is our person this week. Um,
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
so great community, good people, and like you said, businesses, the law enforcement, all of them. Yeah, so definitely really good work done by everybody on the server with, their businesses and their, jobs and roles and whatnot. So,
yeah.
Keeping the economy running.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of new stuff being added, I just thought about this, but there are some new vehicles on Cuffs Customs. So,
yes.
any Cuff members, if you're on the server and you want a new vehicle, please go check out Cuffs Customs. There should be 3 or 4 new cars or vehicles added. I know one of them is a camper that you can actually a big old camper RV looking bus,
Yes.
tour bus that you can actually get in and sit. And going to can sit 2 people, so you and one other person. You got full access to it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And an older Camaro, and I think 2 other vehicles, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we've
So
actually had quite a few. I'm looking at the moment. We have the 2020 Galaxy Roamer, which is the RV. We have a 1952 Hudson Hornet, which I will have to have at some point just because of the Cars movie and Hudson Hornet.
No,
oh
I
my
figure
God,
that.
Cars! I figured Cars is gonna come out in that movie. Come
Yes.
on now, man.
We have Old Mobiles out at 88, which is a very nice car. We have two different 1972 and a 1964 Chevrolet Impala. Then we have the Old Mobile 442 and the 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, as
which is
Michael just
which is
said.
a really fast car. So definitely,
Absolutely.
if you want a car that could probably beat the 2020 Camaro, fully stocked, this is the car to get. If you upgrade it, it would definitely
Yes.
outrun any state car in the city. Just
Yes.
FYI.
Yes.
So state troopers, beware that this car is in the server, and that you might have to soup up your car just
Yes.
to get past these guys.
Yes, and one of our fantastic viewers just mentioned shout out to our dispatchers, which is a definite Ryan Wilson who leads the pack there, and all their dispatchers, Chad Harris, Tac Two, Sean. I know Promus hasn't been on in a while, but he is in there. Country Boy. We've had
This
so
bitch, whoever that is.
this bitch weighs so many. I don't want to miss out on anybody. We've had quite the number of people who've been able to help out with all of that. And then we have had um, traffic lights put in at Sandy Shores. I forgot to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That
about
the
those.
SHP tested out on Tuesday. So definitely go make sure you're stopping, looking both directions, waiting. I know that there is one at the end of Joshua Road now, which not used to be there. So when you're hauling ass down the
Yeah,
highway, make sure you're watching out.
stopping. Yep. And also, I don't know if you guys realize, but the railroad crossings
Mhm.
have changed as well. The gates actually come down now. So if you see the train, you actually got gates to stop behind now. So that's even was added in as
Oh,
well.
see,
That's
I haven't
awesome.
noticed that my own self, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. When you drive to the Sandy and you go to the tracks, look at the tracks. It looks legit. It's real life. But it's like the tracks actually, the gates will come down and the train will actually cross the gates. Like in real life.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, that was added. With that script that was added as well. So traffic lights all work. AI obeys them, and they also obey the train as well.
Awesome,
So
awesome. That is awesome. Alright, well, do we have anything else to add this week, gentlemen?
I believe that's all I have. I think we covered
yeah,
everything that's
I think
happened
we
last
covered
week.
Yeah,
everything this week. Yes, we
we
did.
have covered a lot. Yeah, so that, like we said, it was quite a busy week. Lots of fun stuff will happen this summer on the server, so definitely keep an eye out as we follow these RP, cases and events and different things, of that nature with the triathlon and the race at the casino and whatnot. I'll look out for more information there. But this is the Kuffs FiveM server that we are live from. We have community nights every Saturday and Tuesday night on the Kuffs community. That's not what I wanted to say. Kuffs
FiveM server
crew,
there, Sky.
Kuffs crew members, YouTubes and Twitches. Go over to the Discord to go check that out. Tuesdays and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this has been a lot of fun. We do appreciate you guys coming to watch us over here at Weazel News again. And we hope to see you all on the next one. And thank you to all of our community members and viewers who make this possible. And have a great week.
I hope y'all have a good night, everybody.
Absolutely.
Good night,
So,
everybody.
for myself, Dick Dastardly, and Michael Lopez, we are signing out. Have a great night from Channel 13 of Burroughs Channel, and we will see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Chill. Yeah. M16.
This is unbelievable.
Brr. Weazel. You don't really wanna miss Weazel news. We keep the city on they P's and they Q's, cause they know we pull up with them cameras and shoot. We tell the truth so you don't get confused. You don't really wanna miss Weazel news. We keep the city on they P's and Q's, cause they know we pull up with them cameras and shoot. We tell the truth so you don't get confused. Hey. Shout out to my boss, Baron. You know that man make it happen. He got a foot up in the damn door, and now the whole team taking action. We got pictures on whether you can chat with cheddar. Hit me for your music needs, who gon' do it better? And you can catch Travis on a rash report, or catch me going live with the facts from the source. Ari is a newswoman, plus you with the force. Man, the whole Weazel staff, we on top, check the score. Editors, producers all going hard. Don't make us pull up with them cameras in your front yard, Weazel.